Good morning. My name is Charlotte Reese. I use all pronouns, and I'd like to welcome you to Bucksmont Unitarian Universalist Fellowship's multi-platform worship where, moved by love, we share lifelong journeys of growth, wonder, and healing, nurturing wholeness in society and spirit, creating a community of justice and compassion. I'd like to give a welcome to everyone joining us online and in person today, members, friends, and those who may be newcomers to our community this morning. As we begin our service, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. If you are new to Bucksmont and visiting us in person today, please stop by our Visitors Center in the front hallway near where you came in. There, you can also make a name tag for yourself and find more information about Unitarian Universalism, Bucksmont Fellowship, and upcoming events. If you'd like a hymnal or a printed order of service, those are available near the entrance to the sanctuary. If you are visiting us online or prefer digital methods, please email our office administrator, Beverly, to sign up for our email newsletter and to get connected to our congregation. You may also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Bucksmont UU. Each week in our service, we offer time for people to share a joy or sorrow from their lives by texting a phone number. That number is shared on screen for everyone now and will be again later in the service. If you would like to see the order of service, details about upcoming services, and other ways to gather with our community, you can find that on the homepage of our website, www.bucksmontuu.org. Whether you are a guest, friend, or member, we are glad you are a part of our worship service today. There's a lot happening at Bucksmont, and we'd like to highlight these announcements in particular. Today, April 28th, is the deadline to bring items for the Star Wars auction in the library. Don't forget to pick up your auction catalog after the service. See eVoice for more information. Bucksmonters, new attendees, and longtime members have enjoyed getting to know each other better over casual dinners in the members' homes this past January and March. The last circle dinner for this fellowship year will be held on Saturday, June 1st. Sign up and enjoy the fun. Sign up will be held after the service in Social Hall starting today, April 28th, and continue through Sunday, May 19th. Join Gaia's Rainbow at our annual Beltane Maypole celebration from 2 to 5 p.m. in the gardens area. If it rains, the ritual will be canceled. All welcome. Please bring food and or beverage items to share. For more information, contact Tammy at gaiasrainbow@bucksmontuu.org. On May 19th, RE Sunday, Margaret would like as many people as possible to join the choir in singing a song for the children who are coming of age in Bridget. The song, Dreams of Harmony, celebrates a peaceful world in which we are all part of the Bucksmont family. Come at 9:15 a.m. on May 5th and May 12th to pick up materials, hear the music, and practice with the choir. See Margaret Lee for questions. And now we will have a special announcement from the auction committee.
I'm Reverend Kevin Jago. I use he, him pronouns, and I am Bucksmont's minister. As we gather in our sanctuary, in our homes, or watch from mobile screens almost anywhere, we are all together. Those watching now on Sunday and those who may be watching months from now, we are joined together for worship across both space and time. This is a free, creedless religious congregation in the discipline of truth and the spirit of universal kinship. We join together in a cooperative quest for religious and ethical values, seeking to apply these values to the development of character, enrichment of the spirit, and service to all. You are welcome here, whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever the color of your skin or your country of origin, no matter your gender expression or gender identity, whatever your age, however you define family, wherever you are at this time, and whatever the source of your faith, you are welcome here.
This morning, as we do each time we gather, we kindle our Unitarian Universalist chalice. Do so today with words from Adrian Rich. My heart is moved by all ends. So much has been destroyed. I have to cast my lot with those who age after age perversely, with no reconstitute. These like the chalice of conscience. The offering in liberal.
Good morning. My name is Lynn Nugent. I use she, her pronouns. I'm going to be
not raining. What's that called? It's kind of like a river. It's a baby river called a creek. Yeah. Yes, when the clouds get too heavy with water, they rain. We get a medium amount of rain here, right? There are parts of the world that get tons of rain, right? Are there also parts of the earth that get very little rain? Yeah. Just like a desert. You knew exactly what I was talking about. And in Antarctica, yeah, there is very little, there's a lot of snow and ice in Antarctica, right? So all of those places have different benefits, right? And there are different really good things about them, and then different challenges, right? Like in the desert, there's not a lot of water, so people need to be really careful about how they use their water, right? Yeah, there's no long showers if you live in the desert. Yeah, you need to carry around a lot of water so you don't get thirsty. What about if you live in a place that's really, really cold? What do you need a lot of? You do need water there, yeah. There is an ocean near it in Antarctica. But if it's really cold, do you need to wear a lot of warm clothes? Yeah, and you probably need something to keep you warm, right? Yeah. So where we live, there's a medium amount of everything, right? We have a medium amount of water, a medium amount of trees, medium amount of sun, and that's we're really, really lucky that we have a lot of everything, right? Yeah. But some places aren't so lucky, and they need to figure out alternative ways to get the things that they need. And that can make it challenging for some people. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, because on that yellowish tan part of the globe, that's the desert.
So it can feel like that the yellowish part is where the desert is, but this globe changes where the color that each country is. So it's not showing us where the deserts are, it's showing us where the borders of different countries are. And they use a whole bunch of colors to do that. But you're right, some globes do use colors to show where a desert is or where a forest is. Okay. So I think the grown-ups are going to continue to talk about the different ways that people struggle or embrace and the different privileges that come with the benefits of the earth. But we're going to go downstairs and celebrate Earth Day. So, can you sing us out, guys?
Second time's a charm. The offering in liberal religion is a vital part of our history of faith. As a covenanted community, people who freely choose to be here, our voluntary giving is symbolic of that freedom of choice. Each week at Bucksmont, we share our offering with a different cause or organization in the community. For the month of April, we are sharing with Kin Wellness and Support, a community creating a comforting, non-medical treatment that offers care and support to all those who battle cancer in Bucks County. Kin offers an array of free services which are facilitated by over 50 volunteer practitioners, including Bucksmont members Rosemary Monaco, Nancy Taylor, and Margaret Henley. Some of the services offered include yoga, various support groups, arts and crafts, date and family nights with live music, nutrition programs including cooking classes, a meditative labyrinth, peer-to-peer meetups, gardening, library and research center, and one-on-one and family therapy. Since all kin programs are offered free of charge, our donations will touch the lives of many in our area. We ask that you participate in our morning offering in one of these ways. You can write out a check to Bucksmont and mail it into the fellowship. You may donate online now or at the end of our worship service, or you may place your donation in one of the baskets as they are passed. We will now receive the morning offering. Our community continues to grow and thrive due to generous donations of both time and money. For the many ways that you contribute and how it sustains this fellowship, we are truly grateful. This morning's reading is Fault Line by Robert R. Walsh. Did you ever think there might be a fault line passing underneath your living room? A place in which your life is lived in meaning and separating, wondering and telling, unaware that just beneath you is the unseen seam of great plates that strain through time. And that your life, already sent off in a new direction, turned aside by forces you were warned about but not prepared for. Shelves could be spilled out, the level floor set at an angle in some seconds shaking. You would have to take your losses, do whatever must be done next. When the great plates slip and the earth shivers and the flaw is seen to lie in what you trusted most, look not to more solidity, the weighty slabs of concrete poured, or strength of cantilevered beam to save the fractured order. Trust more the tensile strands of love that bend and stretch to hold you in the web of life that's often torn, but always healing. There is your strength. The shifting plates, the rest of earth, your room, your precious life, they all proceed from love, the ground on which we walk together.
Multitasking Mike.
As the sea levels rise and the wildfires still burn, there are so many people who have nowhere to turn. But each life is precious, of infinite worth. So how can we save life on earth? It will take all of us. Caring for all of us, sharing with all of us, a safer world, a safer world. It will take all of us, working with all of us, doing what none of Wherever we live, we are rooted in place, and we're ready to join with the whole human race in healing the damage we've done to the globe, and trading our warning for hope. It will take all of us, caring for all of us, sharing with all of us, a safer home, a safer home. It will take all of us, working with all of us, doing what none of us can do.
It will take all of us, caring for all of us, sharing with all of us a safer home. It will take all of us, working with all of us, doing what none of us can alone. This month has been a month of heavy topics. Our theme has been equity, and we have discussed the effects of genocide and war, and what we might do to promote more peace in the world. We've learned more about disability justice and how we can make changes to our spaces and to our language. Last week, I talked about our financial systems and how they work against equity. And this week, we are looking at how the very air we breathe, water we drink, and soil we live upon is unfairly distributed and can be harmful to people in differing ways. I want to take a moment to remind us what that term equity means, as it has been our theme this month. Equity is different from equality. Equality is about things being evenly distributed, having the same amount of opportunities or the same share of something. Equity is about addressing the fact that what people need to address the inequalities of this world are not necessarily the same from person to person. Along with this idea of equity, you may have noticed that each service has included voices and ideas beyond the main idea being explored that day. The week we focused on disability justice, our reading touched on racism and homophobia. Last week, when discussing economic and financial equity, I also talked about what we might learn from mushrooms and biological systems about different ways of organizing power. Today, as we think about environmental injustices, we are also going to look at other systems of oppression like racism and classism. This isn't an accident. These different lenses are required to see the full picture of what is going on in the world. There is a term for this, which is intersectionality. Intersectionality was coined in 1989 by UCLA School of Law professor Kimberly Crenshaw in order to address the multiple oppressions being faced by African American women, the overlaps between racial justice and feminism, between identity politics and economic discrimination. Imagine a Venn diagram in which each circle represents a piece of one's identity: race, religion, language, gender, class, sexuality, and even geographic location. They all add up to you, to me. Some of the pieces of our identities may be privileged or afford us benefits, and some identities may be stressed by the systems in which we exist within. This includes the way where we live is related to our overlapping identities. Places that are more affordable tend to be that way for reasons like being further away from desirable amenities, like parks, lakes, and grocery stores, or closer to undesirable things, like railroad tracks, factories, and waste storage systems. Dr. Robert Bullard, often cited as the father of environmental justice, has noted, "America is segregated, and so is pollution. The most polluted air, soil, and water tend to correspond to those communities that are low income and have higher percentages of people of color living in them. This has impacts on people beyond things not being as aesthetically pleasing. People have negative health outcomes as well. One example are cancer clusters, which is when there are a greater number than expected cases of cancer among a group of people in a defined geographic area over time. One such cluster is in Houston, Texas, which has been identified in a neighborhood polluted with toxic chemicals from a nearby rail yard. Another has long been known as Cancer Alley and is an 85-mile stretch of land along the Mississippi River in Louisiana, which contains over 200 petrochemical plants and refineries, where the residents have much higher than expected rates of cancer, among many other negative health conditions. How might we go about changing the fracturing of where people live into zones that promote health and comfort and those that promote disease and discomfort, and instead go about making our environment more equitable across the board? Wendell Berry offers one way we might move forward with a changed perspective. We have lived our lives by the assumption that what is good for us would be good for the world. We have been wrong. We must change our lives so that it will be possible to live by the contrary assumption that what is good for the world will be good for us. And that requires that we make the effort to know the world and learn what is good for it. Reimagining our priorities this way has the added benefit of actually helping people live longer, healthier, safer lives. We know the ways in which we are extracting resources and polluting the environment are leading to ruin. We have decades of evidence that not only are we harming other species, but we are harming ourselves in the process. What we need to change this is positive disturbance. In The Mushroom at the End of the World, anthropologist Anna Singh writes, "Disturbance is a change in environmental conditions that causes a pronounced change in an ecosystem. Floods and fires are forms of disturbance. Humans and other living things can also cause disturbance. Disturbance can renew ecologies as well as destroy them. How terrible a disturbance is depends on many things, including scale. Some disturbances are small. A tree falls in a forest, creating a light gap. Some are huge. A tsunami knocks open a nuclear power plant. Scales of time also matter. Short-term damage may be followed by exuberant regrowth. Disturbance opens the terrain for transformative encounters, making new landscapes possible. Humanists not used to thinking with disturbance connect the term with damage. But disturbance, as used by ecologists, is not always bad and not always human. Human disturbance is not unique in its ability to stir up ecological relations. Furthermore, as a beginning, disturbance is always in the middle of things. The term does not refer us to a harmonious state before disturbance. Disturbances follow other disturbances. Thus, all landscapes are disturbed. Disturbance is ordinary. Protest is one form of social, human-created disturbance. Groups of people joining together to call for change, whether that be around reducing pollution, requiring increases to regulation, finding ways to spread out the harmful sites of production, or changing what we need to produce altogether, and moving away from things that cause us and our environments harm. Those fault lines that divide our communities are part of the challenge and part of the opportunity. By fighting about different harms, we lose sight of the fact that it is all interconnected and intersectional. Instead of focusing on disability rights or environmental rights or racial equality, we should be focusing on all the ways they are connected to one another and the power found at meeting across those lines of imagined separation. Kim Fortune writes, "Pioneering science studies scholar Sharon Traweek has taught us to forever be on the lookout for intersections where people with different backgrounds, perspectives, skills, and status come together. These intersections are like fault lines, the lines between tectonic plates where earthquakes are likely to happen as the plates move past one another. Trawick's geological metaphor is apt. Fault lines are significant intellectually and politically because they are sites where change is likely to originate, possibly transforming entire landscapes. Fault lines can be powerful forces of change and intersectionality. They can also be sources of inspiration, because another way we can work for positive disturbances can be through art, song, and words that draw people together across those lines. It will take all of us, caring for all of us, sharing with all of us a safer home. It will take all of us, working with all of us, doing what none of us can do alone. Irene Glass and Rebecca Savage write, "There is a psalm beneath the soil. 10 million voices raise their call in no human language. Life flows through the tangle of roots, mycelium, microbiota, and crawling, burrowing, tunneling life. The psalm flows upward through trunks and stems and blades of tender grasses and races out into the air. It is picked up and carried on no human tongues. It is in the footfall of paw and hoof, in hums in the buzz of wings and fluttering of feathers. It shines on scales and fins and slithering skins. And if we are quiet and pay attention, sometimes we remember that we are part of this psalm as well, and we have notes to sing. The Anthropocene is an experiment. What happens when we humans forget that the life around us is part of us, that these lives have no less inherent worth and dignity? How many more singers of the Earth Song will go silent forever? Today we are charged to remember, to know that it is as we live together in community, we are also in community with the silently singing lives in the vast congregation of the earth as well. The interdependent web of existence is no allegory. It is as real as the heart beating in our chests. We are charged to do what we can to help those who cannot advocate with human language, who cannot scream for help when they are suffering. We have a role to play in softening the blow of the age of humans. We have a voice that can help to shape the world to come. We are so charged in the name of the sacred psalm, the tapestry of life of which we are a part. Let us remember and then act. We are not separate from the environments in which we live. They are a part of us in positive and negative ways, but in ways we cannot exist without. Jared K. Anderson reminds us of this. The earth's iron in your blood allows you to use oxygen created by other species to empower your cells to live and produce energy. How strange it is when I hear people talk about visiting nature as if they are an outsider. With every breath, you declare your kinship with nature. As does Anna Singh. Making worlds is not limited to humans. We know that beavers reshape streams as they make dams, canals, and lodges. In fact, all organisms make ecological living spaces, altering earth, air, and water. Without the ability to make workable living arrangements, species would die out. In the process, each organism changes everyone's world. Bacteria made our oxygen atmosphere, and plants help maintain it. Plants live on land because fungi made soil by digesting rocks. As these examples suggest, world-making projects can overlap, allowing room for more than one species. Humans, too, have always been involved in multi-species world making. Fire was a tool for early humans, not just to cook, but also to burn the landscape, encouraging edible bulbs and grasses that attracted animals for hunting. Humans shape multi-species worlds when our living arrangements make room for other species. This is not just a matter of crops, livestock, and pets. Pines, with their associated fungal partners, often flourish in landscapes burned by humans. Pines and fungi work together to take advantage of bright, open spaces and exposed mineral soils. Humans, pines, and fungi make living arrangements simultaneously for themselves and for others. Multi-species worlds. As we think about the many ways to work for a more equitable world, from the spaces we inhabit, to the role of money in our lives, to the very air we breathe and the soil we grow things within, the main lesson I keep returning to is that isolation and independence are unnatural states of being. And in the case of independence, it may be the most harmful fantasy of our national identity. We are not independent, but rather interdependent. We are not in this alone, but rather only able to exist in relationship with one another and the earth itself. Reverend Dr. Sherry Prudhomme reminds us that our own tradition of Unitarian Universalism is a training ground for how to approach living in and in relationship with this world. Increasing religious plurality in our congregations has brought in perspectives and practices from earth-based religions of many kinds, amplifying an understanding of humankind as one part of a great interconnected web of all existence, and deepening our humility and reverence for the web of life. It will take all of us caring for all of us, sharing with all of us a safer home. It will take all of us working with all of us, doing what none of us can do alone. May we embrace the incompleteness of equity, not as the ending of the story, but as the beginning. May we never believe we are done, but instead always be widening the circle still more. And may we keep reminding ourselves that we are in this together, on this planet we share, as we work to heal our fractured home. So may it be.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth.
For
I invite you now to join me in a moment of prayer with these words from Maureen Killeran. Let us now enter into a time of awareness within ourselves and connection beyond boundaries, connection to one another, to that interdependent web of life, which we are but one small thread. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. This prayer is for all who are fearful about the economy, about the fate of our country, about health care for yourself or your children, for all whose heart aches at the injustices being done to others in our name, for all who fear for the survival of the planet, for all who fear whether they will be allowed to enter or to leave or to remain. We make this prayer for all who deal daily with failing health, difficult diagnoses, challenging treatments, or healthcare routines, for all who struggle with difficulties at school or work, for all who are facing hard decisions, for all who are living in challenging relationship. We make this prayer for ourselves, for all the fears and concerns, the joys and celebrations. We make this prayer for the children, for their future, and for every blooming possibilities of spring. We make this prayer to hold in our hearts all the precious blessings of our lives. We make this prayer not because we expect it to make the world turn or change. We make this prayer to remind ourselves of who we are, of what life is, and how important love can be. We make this prayer because these words are what we need. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. By our thoughts, by our actions, by our hearts, and by our very breath, may it be so.
As part of our caring outreach to one another, we set aside a few moments to note both the sorrows and the joys in our lives. In these moments of peace and reflection, we turn our attention to one another. We hold each and all in our compassionate thoughts and the prayers of our hearts. This morning, we are placing stones in water. The bowl includes some of the water we gathered as a community back in September, so it contains the love of our congregation surrounding each joy or sorrow. As we add the stones to the bowl of water, our experiences are given weight and depth. We add a piece of our own stories to the collective waters of this community, a place that also holds the memories of those who have gone before and anticipates those who have yet to arrive. To share the joy or sorrow you would like held by our caring community, text the number that is now on screen. Please include your name along with your sharing. It is the same number no matter how you join us today, and you can add it to your contacts for future weeks. I will read them aloud, and Charlotte will add a stone to the water on your behalf. What is shared today will go out in our weekly caring notes for those who cannot be with us this morning. Please remember to include your first and last name with what you share. With stones gathered and remembrances shared, we honor our joys and our sorrows, those shared this morning and the many, many more that exist beyond words. Through our time together, our relationships are deepened and our community made whole.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our closing hymn, Keepers of the Earth. The words will be on the screens.
Every river, every
chalice extinguishing words this morning are from Reverend Tet Gallardo. May we respond better to risks and dangers with a beloved community who can be counted on as a woven basket that encompasses the gifts for protection, for honor, for ceremony, for expressions of interconnectedness. May we prevail in our intentions to make a gift of the world to the next generations of beings living and non-living that help it all come together for good.
As our community departs from this service, may we remember all who came before. May we imagine all who will come after. May we honor all who are present with us here and now. In our time together, we create this community, one of promise, one of commitment, one of interdependence. In our time together, may each of us become a sanctuary for all we meet on the journey. May we go together now and return again.